Hello, it's Evie, the Greek goddess of great reading, and I'm here with Amanda Sun, the author of Paper Gods series, and we are here today at Bakka Phoenix Books in Toronto for the book launch of her newest book in the series, Rain. So Amanda, could you just give a short description of Rain, or the whole Paper Gods series, for the viewers?
Sure. So the Paper Gods is a YA series, urban fantasy that takes place in Japan. It's about a Canadian-American teen who moves there to live with her English teaching aunt. And she crosses paths with a boy at her school who's into kendo, and also his drawings come to life and send them running from Yakuza, there's gangsters, there's the dark forces of Japan, all kinds of stuff. So.
Yes, it's very exciting. And since I've read both of the books, won't spoil anything though, but the story is a really great story, but is there any particular message that you wanted your readers to take away from the series, like any hidden meaning or anything like that?
There's a couple themes that come up a lot. There's a couple sentences I found in Ink and Rain where I wrote that something was dangerous, but it was also beautiful. And so I kind of like that idea that life is, you know, you have to take risks to get somewhere, but there's also a real beauty to that. So that's sort of one of the meanings. And another one is just really, you know, is it your fate? I mean, like, is Tomo's fate really to be chased by drawings? Is he good? Is he evil? Does he get to choose? So it's just the idea of choice in your life, and you know, deciding what your own fate. So
yeah, you don't really see it when it's not so laid out, because it's not laid out in front of you. That is the message in the book, but you see it. I see it when you explain it.
I did, you know, really above everything, I just wanted to have an entertaining and fun story.
Yeah, and it's a great story.
Well, thank you.
So if there weren't any meaning in it, it wouldn't really matter, because some people don't want to have to look for a meaning.
Yeah, I didn't mean to. That just kept coming up, and so I guess that was sort of what they were discussing in the book.
It's natural. It's a good thing that came about that way.
Thank you.
So what projects are you currently working on, and if you can you let us know what the title of the last series of Paper Gods might be?
Sadly, I can't tell you because it's not finalized.
Oh well.
But yeah, it may change. But I am working on book 3. I'm also working on a surprise, which I can't talk about yet.
Okay, surprise.
So yes, there's
a
surprise, and I can confirm that I have a new book coming out in 2016 that isn't Paper Gods.
Okay.
But that's all I can say about that too.
No problem. Just a function. What book are you currently reading at the moment?
I am currently, let's see. I am
many books at the same time.
I am reading, I always get the title wrong. It's by Sarah Farzan, and it's called If You Could Love Me.
Okay.
I think it's about a lesbian girl living in Pakistan, and where she could be imprisoned for being lesbian, and her love is getting married in an arranged marriage to a man. And so I love reading YA set in other countries.
Me too.
Yeah, so it's a fantastic read so far, but I feel really bad if I messed up the title. But it's by Sarah Farzan.
Okay,
so
I'm sure we can find it. It's not a very common story told, so I'm sure.
No, it's a black cover with hands holding on it. So
sounds
it's really good.
Great.
Yeah.
So now everyone knows by now that you lived in Japan when you were younger as an exchange student. How was that experience in Japan? And obviously relates to your books.
Yeah, it was really life-changing, and I kept a really detailed journal while I was living there. So when I was writing Paper Gods, I kept referring to that journal, and I found it really difficult to share how it felt in Japan and how much the experience changed me, which is why I wrote these books, to try and make it really accessible. And you know, you can just go to Japan for a day, and so
just by reading this book.
Yeah, and I tried to break a few of the stereotypes that I'd heard too. Like one of the reasons I write about food a lot is that my experience in Japan was really food based. Yeah. But it's not, you know, it's not all like sushi and that kind of stuff that you think. There's all kinds.
I like sushi, but I'm like, I need to try like something different.
Yeah.
Yaki or something. I don't know.
Sure. So each book features a lot of different meals.
I know. And I get hungry after reading each one, and I have to go out.
It's good to have a snack. Even my editor eats Japanese food for lunch when he's doing my books.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I know that you attend a lot of like sort of Japanese themed stuff like Anime North and like Panics and stuff like that. Are you thinking, or have you ever attended the Natsumatsuri in Toronto?
I missed it last year.
Okay.
Yeah, I was hoping to go.
Are you hoping to go this year? Or are you in Japan?
I will probably be in Japan at a Matsuri.
Yeah, because it's the 12th. I'm like, I'm going. But
yeah, no, I'll be in Japan, but I'm going to do a lot of Matsuris.
That's more cool that she's in Japan.
But every year I do cherry blossom viewing in High Park.
Okay.
And they make a big feast, and we go out there, and it's really fun.
That's really cool.
So,
My last question is, because I really like Japan, I'm crazy anime freak, and all that, but and I'm sure there's lots of other people out there. But I find it really hard to find YA books that are set in Japan and have a lot of like themes like this book does. Are there any other YA novels that you can recommend that are set in Japan?
well, I always recommend Half-World by Hiromi Goto. It's not set in Japan, but it reads like a Studio Ghibli movie.
Okay.
It has illustrations in it too. They go into this other realm that's all inspired by Japanese mythology.
Okay.
And the second book is Darkest Light. It's a companion book.
Okay.
And they're phenomenal reads. So I always recommend those for manga and anime fans.
Cool. Well, thank you, Amanda, for doing this mini interview with me. And
Thank you.
I hope you all pick up Rain by Amanda, and if you haven't already, pick up Ink, the first in her series, alright? Thanks, guys, and I'll see you next time with a review of Amanda Sun's Rain.
Thank you.
Bye.